After talking to neighbors, after talking to different stakeholders and receiving funding, we were able to create Harborview Plaza and had our grand opening in July of 2019. It's the first and only waterfront park in the Harbor District. We have a 40-foot orange play structure shipping container. So it was an old shipping container turned into a play structure, and there's a slide on there. And whether you're old or young, you're able to use it and go down the slide. It's a really fun, I think, landmark for Harborview Plaza. You can see it off the home bridge. It's orange. And then we also added some water features. So there's a water fountain with great aquatic plants. And there's also water pumps. So you'll see a lot of kids coming around in their swimsuits on a hot summer day and getting wet there. We also have a canoeing and kayak launch there. So it's free and open for anyone to use, where people can launch their kayaks or canoes or any watercrafts really off of there. And it's been getting a lot of usage. And it's great to hear people say, like, oh, this is really like something we like and we need it. And it's great because you can, pull up your vehicle, drop off your watercraft, and then park, and it's easy to get into the water. So it's really a central space for the community and for all walks of life to meet at.
If you look at the city historically, Milwaukee has this fabulous park system that came out of the City Beautiful movement, which really was a recognition in the 19th century that cities were becoming inhospitable. They were growing fast, they were industrial, they were very dirty, they were very crowded, and there was a need to rethink the configuration of the city to bring nature back in.
Milwaukee was famously built on water, and that includes the river, that includes the lake, that includes literally building on swamplands and other lakes downtown where they're still being held up by large timbers. But there was this transition sometime, I would say around the 1870s, 1880s, where the city went from being sort of water focused and facing the water to turning its back on the water. And there were good reasons for that. It became an open sewer. It was unsightly. It smelled bad. All the industry was, I think, pretty much to blame for that. But it probably didn't seem possible to most people, even back in the 1970s, 1980s, that Milwaukee could sort of turn around and face that water again. And I think it was Mayor John Norquist who spearheaded that effort to clean up the river, get rid of some of the dams like the North Avenue Dam, the Estabrook Dam, create a free-flowing river, clean up the river, start to tackle some of the point source pollution that was obviously making it a worse place. And with that, there was a sort of a revolution in, people wanting to be on the river, actually putting a canoe or kayak in the river. It would have been unthinkable, I think, in the 60s or 70s to do that. I think the Harbor District is similar in that way, where some things that might seem unthinkable now, could happen.
When you get on the water, you see a lot of the legacy of our industrial past. And so, there's obviously more work to be done, but I think that's one of the things that we'd like to see is kind of a reintegration of nature on our shorelines. And I think there's lots of cool examples of that with, the School of Freshwater Sciences in the Harbor District doing habitat hotels to try to restore the fish ecology in our harbors. In the Riverwalk itself, the new design of the Riverwalk won't just be a concrete path. I mean, it also incorporates these natureful amenities so that as you're walking, there's a real, again, connection to the water.
So one of the biggest things that we're really excited about is the expansion of the Riverwalk. And so we have the Riverwalk downtown, and we'll be building off on that and allowing it for it to go across the Harbor District. And so the park, Harborview Plaza, was kind of that first part of it, of the Riverwalk. And so we're going to be building out more of that. And so next door, Kamatsu's moved in, but that land that's in front of the water is actually public space. So that's going to be turned into something similar to Harborview Plaza, maybe with different features on it.